Even though I didn't actually decide to become a photographer until I was 32 years old, there was always a camera present in my life. The thing that changed was basically I had intention. The significance of photography always in my life has been as an incredible communication tool. When I first started photographing in both the Arctic and Antarctic, I hadn't set out with any plan that I was going to document climate change. I didn't even really know what that was. I had heard whispers of what that was. But really what I was so excited about was documenting these parts of our planet that were amazing. I spent over 10 years in the polar regions, and during that time, watching year after year the changes happening, it became pretty clear that something incredible and quite devastating was taking place. And the photographs that I originally had made, which were, to show how amazing our planet was, were quickly becoming, look at what we're losing, to now look at what we've lost. I couldn't help but be affected by what I was seeing, what I was documenting. As the UN announced in 2007 that climate change was real, my images became very important, especially in the science community, because they helped to illustrate, put a face and a picture to what was going on in places that most people on the planet have never and will never visit. My particular approach to specifically photographing icebergs is to not only show what I'm seeing, but also express how I felt when I was there. And if I do my job right, then when someone is viewing any of my photographs of these icebergs, they're not only seeing what I saw, but they get to feel what I felt. And that emotional connection is really important. Storm chasing happened, again, very serendipitously. My daughter, who was 8 years old at the time, said, "Mom, why don't you do that?" And literally 3 days later, I was. After spending so much time in the polar regions and seeing that melting, I was thinking, if the poles melt, how does that affect our temperate zones? Increased warmer seas means increased storm activity, which means larger and potentially more damaging storms. And I was not prepared for how visceral an experience it was. It is incredibly tactile. There are smells, there are colors, there's wind. It sounds incredibly dangerous, and it can be. It sounds incredibly exciting, and it can be. Most people in storm situations are seeking shelter, and we're moving towards it. Once actually got to shout, "Cow!" as one flew by. I think it's really important to show these pictures that most people will not experience in their lifetime. When someone talks about dry points and mesocyclones, it might get lost. But if I show you an image of one of these storms, it hits you pretty quickly. Understanding that all things are not only connected but interconnected, and knowing that our future seems to be moving more towards technology and science and big data, it's really important to remember the very significant role of humanities. As we move forward, we need these interpretations. We need these things that speak to the human spirit and experience. It's great to want to make the world a better place, but what does that mean? Technology doesn't fix a problem unless there's a humanities thing to sort of help define not only what that problem is, but what the solution is, and if it worked.